First of all, Coach Napier's in his second year. How does year two under him feel differently than the first?
All the guys are just buying into, the program that he has set for us. Coach Napier is just a really respectable guy. And just having another year under him, he's learning us as much as we're still learning him, and just, making sure that we trust everything he's got for us and going out there and execute.
Do you sense there are more building blocks in place than there were this time a year ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just having another year of him learning about us, he's going to change up his, regimen just based on, how the guys respond to certain things. Obviously, he's amped up more and more going on to year two, but all the guys are bought in.
On the left side, back row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Hugh Freeze returning to the SEC after spending some time at the Group of Five level. Coach Napier came to the SEC from the Group of Five, spent that first year, and now he's in his second year. Anything you've noticed difference-wise, and anything in his demeanor is he more comfortable in his second year as far as you can tell?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just a really consistent human in general. So I think there hasn't been too much change about comfortability, but he has a different level of motivation for sure going on to his second year. So I think as much as we're hungry to go into our second year, I think he is as well. To develop a relationship with him has been extremely important for us as a quarterback and receiver duo. But he's also my friend outside the field too. So we actually just went to the beach this last weekend to St. Augustine to throw on the beach. So just doing things like that with him.
Front row.
Chris Farble, KCOU 81 FM. So of course Anthony Richardson leaving for the NFL draft. You got a couple of transfer quarterbacks. You got Graham Mertz, who came in from Wisconsin, and Jack Miller, who previously came in from Ohio State. Two guys that Gator fans really haven't seen much of in this offense. Getting to work with both of them, what can you tell fans, everyone in general, what should they expect from Mertz or Miller come the fall?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're both really talented humans, They're both really good people. They both see the field very well and both have really good arms. Obviously, Graham has his experience back behind him. Jack had that one game last year, obviously. But, just creating that level of competitiveness between the two is going to really benefit them. And, then at the end of the day, we're going to see, who rises to the top. And we're just putting our trust into Coach Napier to make the right decision. So I don't think we can really go wrong.
Back row.
What would you tell a transfer coming into the SEC from another conference now that you've got to spend a year in the SEC after starting your career at Arizona State?
Yeah, just to get ready to play the best of the best. I mean, that's the reason why I came here, I wanted to play against the best every single snap, and the SEC is that conference to do that. So I think that's the one thing I would tell them. And then also to get ready for, the traditions and the histories that lie in the SEC as well. I think that was a big thing that stood out to me, and I was excited for. And then obviously the fans behind it.
Your teammates mentioned Buyin as something that feels a little bit different this offseason as opposed to last offseason. Is that something that comes through on the offense? And what does that really mean to say that everybody's bought in?
Yeah, I mean, buying in just to the program and to the regimen that, Coach Napier has set for us. And honestly, buying into your teammates as well, being able to trust each other. When we're out there on that field and adversity hits, we only going to look at each other in the eyes, There's no coaches out there that are going to help us, nobody else. We just have each other. So being able to buy into each other and continuing to develop those relationships with one another, you should know every person in the locker room when you go out there and you play your game. So, just coming together stronger and playing as a unit is going to be very important for us moving forward.
Right side.
Both of your teammates mentioned how awesome your fan base is in the Swamp. So I'm wondering, how does being at home affect your gameplay, and how does seeing visitors and how does seeing your fans at your visitor games affect you and impact the way you play?
Yeah, I think the University of Florida has the best fans in the nation. So, seeing those guys or seeing everybody pop out to the games, is super important for us. It obviously creates advantages for us when we're at home, with the noise and stuff, making it hard on the other team. But, also seeing them in away games too, and knowing that we got that support system. I'm actually from Arizona, and I think there's a Gator club in Arizona, which is crazy to me because everybody asks me, how did I come from Arizona to Florida, because it's so far. But they got actually a Gator club out there. So, I think we just have the best fans in the nation.
If you have friends back in Arizona, what questions about the SEC do you get from them?
Like just skill level wise, like what's the skill factor, as well as, you know, how loud the stadiums are is like a question that comes up a lot. And, you know, I answer that question to my, you know, best ability and tell them, you know, everything that's true, which is we got the best, you know, talent and the best fans.
Sometimes coaches have a message to their players for the season. Is there a message the players are having internally among themselves?
Yeah, I mean, just to prove everybody wrong. I mean, I feel like we do a good job of not really listening to everything, but I think we want it for ourselves. I think being self-motivated is really important for us as a team, and we want this more than anybody else wants it for us. So I think that's something that we just got to keep reminding each other and keeping a really good mindset and perspective on things.
Left side.
What can you tell us about the rest of the wide receiver room this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a really dangerous group. You know, all these young guys that came in, they're extremely talented. We already had a talented room even without them, but now that just adds on to our talent, makes us even more stronger in there. I think all the young guys are going to come in and make impacts going on to this season. You got guys like Andy, you got guys like Trey and Aiden. They're all extremely talented in their own ways. So just, you know, being a leader of the group, just to take them under my wing and make sure they're handling their business like a pro every single day.
Any final questions? Okay.
What's your relationship like with Jaden? I know he's playing on the other side of the Florida LSU rivalry, but you guys started your careers together at Arizona State. He was up here a couple of days ago.
Yeah. We have actually a really good relationship. That's still my dog, you know, for life. We randomly FaceTime each other, you know, and talk a little smack about the game, you know. I think he's got us circled as much as we got him circled. I mean, on a personal level too, you know, just knowing that we're going to play against each other. But, you know, I can't wait to go over there and, you know, see him in, you know, his house now. So we're really excited for that game, and I'm excited to see him. And, you know, it's really good to see him doing well as well. So I wish him all the luck.
Ricky, thank you very much. Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.